How's it going, everybody, tonight? Allan at Allan's Sober Powerlifting Journey. Another great day of sobriety today. Deadlift night. Nothing out of the ordinary, just in one of those normal deadlift nights. Got anybody out there tonight want to ask any questions? I'll wait till somebody shows up here. We're at 0 people. I have it on the top thing. It says 0 people. Yeah. Another chilly night tonight out here in southeastern Massachusetts. Got one person there. Good evening. How you doing? Yeah. Deadlift night tonight. What did you train tonight? Did you train? Did you work out? It's a powerlifting channel. We talk about some politics, sobriety, anything on your mind, you know. Usually the first. Welcome to the channel, everybody who's out there in YouTube land. Anybody train tonight? I did deadlifts tonight. I just did my 2 main sets were 500 pounds. And 525 was the last set I did. It's moved pretty good. I didn't want to go any heavier than that, really. My record is 570. I probably won't get, I don't know, the 25th. I had a mishap. I was getting towards the record. I was going to break that record probably. Yeah, I still might. Who knows? You know, I got a little ways to go, but I was going to break that record, but I was squatting. I had 540 pounds on the bar, and I was squatting, and I couldn't get the damn thing in the monolift. I thought it was in there, but it slipped underneath it, so I had to dump the weight, and I ended up pulling a little. I pulled something in my arm, the right bicep. Nothing too serious, but enough to set me back. Really painful though during the day. And also a hip flexor I pulled a little bit. Kind of threw me off, you know. Anything like that when you're coming up on a competition. I got a powerlifting meet on the 25th of April. And any kind of little thing like that will throw you right off, you know. Hello, how you doing? Yeah, I got out of it. I didn't really get that hurt. It just threw me off for about a week almost, which is not conducive to a good before a powerlifting meet when it's that close. But I'm still probably going to do it, you know. I'm going to open up with 500 on the deadlift, which is pretty easy for me. I'm going to open up with 500 on the squat, so 500 and 500. And I'm going to open up with 350 on the bench. It's April 25th in Natick, Mass. Is it Natick? No, wait a minute. No, it's not Natick, Massachusetts. I don't even know what town it is. I can't. You know what? I've competed there like 6 times, and I don't even remember the town. Is it Natick? No, it's not that far away. It's about an hour away from here, though. Yeah. So I'm going to open up. The squat's going to be first. I'm going to open up with 500. Then I'm going to shoot right for my record. My record is 535 in reps. I'm going to go for 540. So I'm going to try to break that record, you know. I'm going to break it. And then probably if I break it on the second attempt, I might just call it right there on the squats. I'm going to be 58 in less than a week. So, you know, I don't want to put, I can't kill myself too much. Shut the fuck up. We're talking about powerlifting, something you don't know about because you don't have no fucking balls. That's why, brother. You got to have a JJ down there. So, yeah, I'm going to open up with 350 on the bench. I don't know how far I'm going to go with that. And then on the deadlift, I'm going to open up with 500 pounds. Yeah, whatever the fuck your name is, this is a powerlifting sobriety channel. So if you don't like that, you can get off my channel. That's all. Or if you don't get off the channel, we'll just we'll kick you around a little bit like a little girl, you know. Kick you in your coochie. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to open up with. I don't know how it's going to go on the deadlift. Probably I'll probably go right up to 540 or 550 maybe on the deadlift. And so I've got a video up there that's well over a month old. It's just a 515 deadlift, and it's got almost a 1,200,000 views on it. Yeah, it was over a month ago. It was just a 515 deadlift. And boy, there's a lot of comments, a lot of stupid ass people out there, like this guy right here, about asking me what I'm talking about. Stupid people, you know. They just like to try to bother you. One guy, I put a couple on blast on my community posts, which are pretty funny. You might want to check that out, you know. Check this guy out that says something about my age or whatever, and he looks like he's 90. Very soft as Charmin, soft as Charmin bum tissue, man. The guy is soft looking, you know. Why is Elmo? Because it is in the background. Why is the earth round? Because it is. Why is it cold in the winter here? Because it's the winter. That's a dumb question. Yeah, so anyways, that's what I'm going to open up with. It's going to be on the 25th. April 12th is my birthday, 58. I have all 4 records at Revolution Powerlifting, RPS Powerlifting. I have all 4 records. I set them the first time I competed at 55. Yeah, it's not too bad out tonight. I mean, it's like probably 40 degrees outside. So this heater it keeps it good enough for me, man. I'm like an old Viking, man. I got that fucking Nordic blood in me, you know what I mean? So the cold doesn't bother me too much. Not too bad, you know. Hey, man, I'd rather be in here when it's cool like this than in the summertime. But I got a new air conditioner that's going to go in this window over here. I'll show you. I'll show you this. Where the hell is the damn button that you turn this around at? Right here. I got this window right here. No, that didn't do it. That's going to go right in that window right there. I got a big air conditioner, man. Hey, welcome from Kansas City. Welcome in the wind TV. Yep. There's some of my records right there. I got to get them into, yeah, I got to get them in frames, you know. Frames. I got to take a day, you know what? I got to really take a day and clean this place up a little bit. I got all kinds of shit in here. I got this reverse hyper the other, about, I don't know, shit, 6 months ago maybe. No, not quite 6 months ago. Right here, the reverse hyper I got. I use that every time I work out. Usually, 2 sets. You know, it's 2 sets of 20. The reverse hyper keeps the old joints oiled up a bit. You know, it's a lot of iron. That's only one pile of iron. I got tons of it. Those 100-pound dumbbells right there. My deadlift platform. Yeah. This is my deadlift platform right here. What I deadlift on. I get a lot of knuckleheads out there that think, well, they're not knuckleheads. They think I'm deadlifting in an attic or whatever. This is not an attic. This is a shed. You can see the garage door right here. It's got a garage door right there. And I'm deadlifting on 2x4s, and I have 2 1-inch plywood on top of this. I put 2 of them on. You can see the plywood right there. Well, there's 2 sheets of that on top. And then you have the mats. You can see the mats and the rug. A lot of people think that I'm in some kind of attic and I'm going to go through the floor or whatever. You know, I get that fucking comment so many times, man, especially on that. I got a video from over a month ago. I just told everybody this, whoever's new on here, that's got 1 million and almost 1,100,000, more than 1,100,000 views on it. So I probably had about 100 of those comments about me being in an attic. It's not an attic. It's a shed. I'm right on the ground, you know. Believe me, I would not be deadlifting up in an attic on the floor with over 500 pounds. What's another one I get? Oh, that A lot of clowns out there, saying I can't walk. I have no problem walking. I got to walk over miles and miles at work, where I work at a military base. I'm not exactly running a 4 minute mile or whatever. Believe me, but I get around very good for my age and size. Uh, No, I'm not gonna. They try to give you these stupid question and answer, stupid shit. But anyways, yeah. Another great day of sobriety out there. I'm a success as when I don't, as long as I don't drink. How long have you had the gym? I've had this gym. Let me think here. I've had the equipment, and it's been in 3 different places. Um, God, how many years has it been now? 2018, maybe. 2018, probably since 2018. Yeah. So it's coming on. It's 8 years ago, man. It's been 8 years. I've been in this place right here, though. It's coming up on 3 years now. So I've been in this shed for 3 years. Prior to that, I was at a friend's house named Caroline. I was at her house for several months, and then I was at my niece's house. And then before that, I started out at my friend's house, Caroline. I was there for years. But I've had the equipment, not all the equipment. A lot of this equipment's new. I got a new the deadlift bar right over here. I got this bar. It's a Texas deadlift bar, and then behind me is a Texas squat bar right here. Those are very expensive bars. I bought this the deadlift jack off a friend of mine. I bought these 100-pound dumbbells recently. The iron I've gotten from different places. People have donated it to me, or I bought some. Yep, and I got the reverse hyper over here. Behind me, I got a squat rack. I mean, I got a dumbbell rack that goes up to 100-pound dumbbells, which are over here though. Yeah, from all the way from 15 pounds all the way up to 100-pound dumbbells. I'd like to get some bigger dumbbells. Yeah. Okay, what does it say? Testament to the New England guys. Great idea. Yeah, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. But yeah, I've been here. It's coming on 3 years. This is at me and my fiance have a house here, um, and this is on the property. It's a one, two. It's a 5 bedroom house, 2 bathrooms. I remodeled two of the bedrooms already myself. I'm also good at remodeling rooms, carpentry. I learned how to be a pretty decent carpenter living here. I bought a chop saw, a miter saw. I bought all kinds of tools. I got a power washer, a nice gas operated power washer. So I learned how to be. I learned a lot about carpentry from trial and error here. And I remodeled a laundry room. I remodeled a couple of bedrooms, and I'm almost done with a living room that's down in the basement. Yeah, I put a new ceiling up. I put tiles on that. I built a wall. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. It really is when you're doing it for yourself, or whatever. I cut baseboards perfectly now. Windows, trim around windows and doors. I love it, man. I love it. I've always been a professional painter. I did that for a living for years. Yeah, I got sober January 11th, 2015. I got sober in jail. I was in jail. Actually, I was in prison. Well, no, I got sober in jail, but I went to prison. Um, I got sober. Yeah, January 11th. I went to jail. Hello, how you doing there? I went to jail, and then from there I went to prison. I got out in November of the same year, so it was less than a year I was in. Less than a year, but I got sober. I never drank and drugged again, man. That was the end of it. I was living in this little sleazy motel when I got sober with this ex girlfriend of mine that drank just as much as I did, and she was nasty. We were a big fucking mess, is what it was, you know. And my last drink of vodka, I had a glass of vodka, a shot of vodka. That was my last drink while the police were arresting me. They let me have one more shot of vodka. The good old boys, the West Frankfort, Illinois cops, they let me have one more drink. So that was my last drink I had. There's no cravings anymore. I love this. I lifted a little bit in the 80s, 90s. You know, I really loved it back then a little bit, you know. And then when I got sober, they had weights that were welded that were in prison. Together, you had one bar that was 135 all the way to 405. And your sobriety, I enjoy training at home as well due to people's. Yeah, me too. I love my own gym. You know what? I always say I'd like to, you know, help out some younger guys or whatever and train in a gym, but I have the equipment that I love here. I bought my own equipment that's suited to to my needs powerlifting. If I go to one of those commercial gyms, they're not going to have a Texas squat bar that I can grab, and I can get that wide grip on it, you know, because it's an 8 foot bar. They're not going to have the Texas deadlift bar and a platform like I have, and most of them won't have a reverse hyper that I need. So I got my equipment, and I have a mono lift too, right here, one of those mono lifts. They're not going to have that, and they do have it. And now, if there was a nice gym where I'm competing, but it's over an hour away, that's the best gym around here. But then you got to deal with all kinds of people, riffraff, and all that shit, you know. And I can play my own music in here. I have one of those Bose speakers that's in here somewhere, you know. Can listen to that, and I can do whatever the fuck I want in here, you know. Yep. I can walk around here and talk to myself and act crazy and shit. Nobody's gonna give two shits because there's nobody in here, and nobody ever wants to train with me, you know. Really, none of the kids around here. You know, I try to encourage them though, but I don't know what it is. The last kid I had in here, he couldn't do one. He couldn't even press 135. You know. Yeah, he couldn't even press 135. Poor kid. You know. Shit. These kids these days, they're too soft. I guess. You know. Not all of them. You know. Not all of them, but they're really soft, man. They need to get in the gym. Yeah, it was a very hard thing for me to do. You know what? And you see, at that time, this was over 11 years ago. I had a little trust fund. I was getting $1,000 a month. But my sister did me a favor, which I didn't think so at the time. She ended up cutting me off for a time. She stopped the check from coming in. She was the trustee of it, you know. So she did me a favor. So I could not bond myself out. You know, had I been able to bond myself out of that West Frankfort jail, I definitely wouldn't have stayed gut and sober. I don't think, you know. It was like a divine intervention. You know, God was playing a little tough love with me, man. He made me. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Yeah, he made me man up to my problem, my higher power, which I call Christ. Jesus is my higher power. But man, my higher power made me man up, man. And I had to take the licking, man, for the shit I've done. Which was I got yeah. Oh, God bless you. Thank you, my friend. Yeah. Um, I got arrested originally in a place called Olney, Illinois, Richland County. It's a county with 10,000 people. Olney has is the capital, and I got arrested originally for under 5 grams of methamphetamine. Which good thing the cops raided my house. Good thing all the stuff that you make the meth with wasn't in one place. It was spread about the house. But I ended up getting arrested. That's all they could find was under 5 grams of methamphetamine, which was just a light bulb that had a little burnt out residue in it. But that's what I got arrested for originally. Now I sat in jail for 5 months, and I went to rehab from there. And I got put on probation, a very strict probation. How do you keep your back healthy enough to deadlift so much at your age? Yeah, geez, I don't know, man. Just from never stopping. You You gotta stay consistent. Yeah, stay consistent. Don't live in fear, man. Just go for it. Go for your dreams, man. Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm gonna be 58 and geez, less than a week now, man. I think, right? Nope, never injured my back. First time I ever deadlifted, I think I did 365. It was when Ronald Reagan was in office, if you can believe that. Thank you, I appreciate it. That's the first time I deadlifted, and within about Ronald Reagan was still in office, and I did 500 with straps. Oh boy, oh yeah, that's rough. The fasting, right? Yeah, I guess it's good though. It's good. I might have to try that sometime when I am done with the powerlifting for a little while here. This is going to be the next one I do is going to be my 21st competition since I was 51. That's when I was 51 when I started powerlifting, and I started lifting seriously in prison. Like I said, I was 47 years old. I turned 47 at Graham Reception Center, Illinois. Yeah, fried chicken sounds good. Graham's Reception Center, which is where they throw everybody in there and they classify you. I sat in there for over a month. Oh wow, okay, yeah, big guy. Welcome to my channel. But yeah, I sat in Graham Reception Center for a month, and then they classified me, and I never had any violent felonies or anything. So they sent me to a minimum security called Taylorville in Illinois. It was in Taylorville, Illinois, is a town in Illinois. Pretty central Illinois, pretty much in the center of Illinois. So I sat there until November of 2015. Thank you. I really appreciate that, my friend. Yep. Yeah. So I sat there, and from there I went to this halfway house. I had to go to the state-run halfway house. Um, I guess it could be dangerous. The most dangerous part that I was in was Graham Reception Center because you're thrown in there with everybody from a murderer, from the axe murderer, all the way down to a guy that had too many DUIs. It's a reception center where they throw everybody together. The only thing that keeps you more safe though is you're locked down pretty much 24 hours a day, locked down. Except you get to go out in the yard. The most dangerous part of being in Graham is probably in the yard, the exercise yard. And I felt no danger at all in there, to be honest with you. I lifted with the guys in there. The guys that were sex offenders, they never came out of their cell. They stayed. They never even showered. It must have smelled like holy hell in there. You got to take a shower 3 days a week too. Yeah, no, everything went fine. I played basketball. That's when I was like 47. I turned 47 in there. But I was playing basketball. Basketball. I was playing basketball with the brothers, man, and they loved me, man. That was because hey, I'm not the best basketball player, but I'm a tough motherfucker underneath, though. That's what they said. They really respected me. Yeah. Yeah, no, never caused any trouble, never got any write-ups for anything. No fights. I got into a real shouting match with one guy at Taylorville once. I'm glad it didn't escalate though. He pretty much backed down. But that's about it, man. I didn't get in any trouble. I just went to I did my own thing, man. I worked out. I stayed away. I knew I wanted to stay sober and wanted to make something out of my life. It was getting later in life. I was in my late 40s. So I went to a lot of different AA meetings, NA meetings. I also volunteered for a class, a behavioral class. Yeah, one day at a time, brother. One day at a time. I went to a behavioral class that I really loved. I can't even remember the name of it, but it was every day we went there to this class, and it was pretty cool. A lot of stuff was common sense, but sometimes you need that common sense drilled in your head. Yeah, I got a lot out of everything. I was in a program called CEC. I believe that's the name of it, and it was a behavioral drug and alcohol program. And my job was inspiration coordinator. So yeah, I didn't hang out with anybody that was glorifying alcohol and drugs. If you said something like, "Yeah, I'm not going to do the hard drugs, but I'm going to go to the bar," I knew you were full of shit back then because I'd been around AA and NA for years before that. So I knew that person wasn't going to make it. There's no such thing as having a little bit of this or that when you're an alcoholic or an addict, you know. But yeah, I was in CEC, so I ended up. I enjoyed the program there. You know, I never got into any problems at all with anybody, though. Really, I just did my own thing. Yep. And Graham Reception Center, you know, you just sat in there pretty much. I went out in the exercise every time the exercise yard was open. Though I'd be out there, you know, I'd be walking the track, and then they had a little curl bar that had like 40 pounds on it, and then we'd have somebody lay on the curl bar, and you could bench press the person with the bar. Yeah, God bless you, my friend. Yeah, if it wasn't for Jesus, I wouldn't be here right now. I would be still. I would if I was here still. I would not be in. I'd be in very bad health because I drank around the clock in the end. Yep, yep. I drank around the clock, and I took any kind of drug that would come across me. You know, that I would come across. Yeah, it was terrible. I was a terrible alcoholic. You know, not a very nice person either. Yeah, my friend is from Arthur. Arthur is 92 years old. He's going to be 93 in August. Just texted me. He's in pretty good shape for 92. But yeah, like I said, I stayed away from all negativity when I was in there. And then I went in that halfway house, and that was a mess too. You know, the people in there were just they were just waiting to get out and get fucked up. Really, most of them. He desires, yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's all you can do is share your experience, strength, and hope about how the Lord saved you. You know, other than that, you can't force anybody. You can just share it to them. You know, I was an absolute wretch. You know, just like what's that song there? Amazing Grace. You know, he saved a wretch like me. That was an absolute mess, man. I've had so many different bottoms. I, I I could tell you hours. My story could go on and on forever for a long time because I had a lot of bottoms, man. On crack, I smoked crack. One time, I smoked so much crack that I was laying on the ground, and I called my ex girlfriend at the time, who's dead now from this disease of alcoholism. I called her up and I told her, gave her my last rites, pretty much that I didn't think I was going to live because I smoked too much at once, you know. Yeah, he is where his true knowledge resides. Absolutely right. Yep. Absolutely right. Yeah, that's what I've been doing a lot at nighttime. I'll put it on a Bible, like on YouTube. They've got readings in the Bible, especially the New Testament. I listen to a lot of New Testament stuff on the Peter, you know, 1, 2, and a lot of Paul's letters. I love those, you know. Acts is amazing. The Acts, and then the four Gospels are just, it's all fantastic. All I can't really quote anything. I'm not good at that. Scriptures, like a lot of people. Boy, those people amaze me. They can quote the scriptures are amazing. You know that they can quote. You know, uh, but not too much else other than that. It was a good deadlift night tonight. I went up to 525 on the deadlift. Yes, he does, my friend. Um, I would recommend you use the hyper. That's a good question, especially before you do legs, because you're a bodybuilder. You're gonna have a leg day, right? I would say you can use it 3 days. I would use it 3 days a week, even if you're not doing legs. But really warm up good with it on leg day. A couple of set, not so much where you're burning yourself out, though. You know what I mean? And then I would include it at the end when you're done with legs. Before and after each workout is probably the best. You know? Absolutely. Praise the Lord, everybody. God bless everybody out there. Yep. All I got is my testimony of what's happened to me, you know. Yep, my testimony is all I've got in this world. When I got out of prison, I went to a halfway house that was mostly federal inmates were in there. I was a state inmate in a place called Marion, Illinois. And that's where Pete Rose went to prison in Marion, Illinois, and also John Gotti was in the maximum security wing. It was the only federal maximum security at the time. Now it's in Colorado, but then it used to be in Marion, Illinois. And that was like being in jail again. They gave you a breathalyzer. You had to go through a metal detector. They had count time actually, just like in jail, you know, or prison. And to go anywhere, you had to have a counselor sign off on it. Thank you. I appreciate it, brother. Yep, absolutely. I draw all my strength from Jesus. That's for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I spent 3 months in there, and that was a hellhole, boy. There was one guy that was selling that spice shit. You know, one of the guys took that spice and he flipped out. Now, if you end up getting in trouble there, especially there were mostly federal inmates, they end up throwing you back in federal prison. Me, I would just go back. I would go. I would be violating my parole and probably go back to state prison. But I had a year of parole. But this guy flipped the fuck out in the office, man. He was tearing the whole fucking place apart. Excuse my language, but yeah, K2 or Spice. Yeah, right. He flipped out in that office, tore the walls. He ripped the computer down and everything. They had to get him out of there with a straitjacket. It was a normal guy the day before that, you know. That happened twice in there. Isn't that a sin? Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. Some people can do it, get away with it, but a lot of people flip out on that. Some guy, my roommate, I was living. The roommate at the time, he asked me if I wanted to buy any, and I'm saying no, thank you, no way, man. I'm in here to get sober, man. I don't want. I don't. Why would I want to take something I'm gonna flip out and end up in prison for? That ain't no. Yeah, I'm gonna take that shit, right? No problem. And flip the fuck out and get drawn out, get pulled out by 5 cops in a straitjacket, and then go back to prison. Sounds like a good time to me, right? You gotta flip out, end up in prison again. Yeah, that sounds like a real fun time. I say, what are you nuts? Who the hell's gonna do that shit? Yeah, this guy was horrible. I had to make some earplugs. I got earplugs. The guy would keep me up all night. He snuck us. You're not supposed to have a smartphone, and then he snuck one in there. Smartphone. He was on that phone all night long. Yeah, he guarantees he's probably not alive anymore. You know, a lot of these guys. You know, these are straight gangster, gangland type guys that were in there. You know. Then you had the pedophiles had to they actually let them out. Some of them out. They couldn't go to that program though because they didn't let anybody with a sex offense. They sat in the county jail. They made room in the county jail for them, and they got to come out and look for jobs and shit. Yeah, that's right, man. I don't play any games anymore. I got a beautiful home here, a beautiful fiance, nice vehicle now. I didn't even have my license when I got out of there. I had nothing but $20 to my name, and I didn't even have any clothes. I had a pair of sweatpants that the prison gave me to leave in, and a shirt that didn't fit. That's it. That's all I had. And I had to go to Goodwill and shit to get somebody. I know. First, when I went in there, one of the guys that was in the halfway house donated a couple of shirts and pants for me. Then went to Goodwill. I had a voucher for there and a voucher for Salvation Army. I got clothes there. On April 20th. Well, oh, that's great, man. Congratulations on that. Congratulations, April 20th. 2 years is a big milestone, man. I remember when I got my second year. You see, before that, I had 4 periods of, 1 year to, 1 year and 4 months was the most I got, 4 times. I never got that second year, man, and, I remember when I got that second year, I said, "You know what? I'm gonna make it this time." Thank you. Quit nicotine, yeah, November. Yeah, I'm glad you did that, buddy. I, quit smoking in, let's see, let me think here. In 2016, I quit smoking cigarettes, and I quit the, Copenhagen dip. I was dipping Copenhagen. I quit that on, let me think here, 2018. 2018. So it's been 8 years I've been off nicotine completely. Yeah. Yeah, no, I did, that's not a small, task though, quitting that nicotine. I gave up smoking because my ex-girlfriend Tina at the time had a quadruple bypass and she quit smoking. So I gave up the cigarettes, you know. I always wanted to quit. I didn't want to smoke anymore, you know. I had quit, of course, being in jail and then going to prison for 11, 10 months. But that stress was so much going into that halfway house that I grabbed one of those. Probably a good thing I did it for a little while, you know, instead of grabbing booze or anything, you know. Yeah, that's rough. The vapes, I guess. I don't. I did that a little bit if I ran out of cigarettes or whatever back in the day when I smoked, but I never really got into the vaping too hard. You know, it was out though pretty good when I got sober. When I just got sober, it was, you know, the vape shops were around. You know, and my ex Tina though, I think she started again. I saw a Facebook picture with her smoking again. I just It's crazy, you know, starting to smoke again after you had a quadruple bypass. But hey, it's been fun tonight. It's been a great live stream. I appreciate everybody and God bless everybody out there. Have a good night. I'll talk to you guys on the flip side.